Hello, how is everyone today? So, I'm back with a game from Steam. However, it's in draft phenomenon, so I'm also back with that. We are going to. Wait, I'm just getting myself comfortable. So, today we are going to go further on route. I never know if it's route or route. Because I know that one is American English and the other one is British English, so I don't know anymore. But yeah, we are doing that. Maybe we'll finish, maybe not. On. Yeah, trying to get the best end. So let's go. Oh, we're already in chapter 5, so we have 2 more chapters, 2 more hours. We may end Ross today. Tonight is the night of the ball. I sit alone in front of my mirror, staring at my reflection. It has been a long time since I dressed up like this. Usually, when I must show my face at the ball as a crown princess, I do not put so much effort into my appearance, not when I am likely to excuse myself early. But tonight things are different. Tonight, people will actually be expecting me. In fact, they are waiting for me to arrive. The thought makes me nervous. I love how we look so pretty and yeah. Why do I keep realizing that? I'll never like being the center of attention. A knock startles me from my thoughts. It's me, can I come in? You may. You look so mature. Rod steps inside the minute he sees me, his eyes widen, and his mouth falls open. Has no one told you it's rude to stare? Rod turns away, shakes flushed. Sorry, you just look so... He takes a deep breath, and as he approaches, you look radiant. His voice is so tender, his words so soft, that it makes my heart flutter. Thank you. I clear my throat. What are you doing here? I had something I wanted to talk with you about before the ball. It's about Prince Lance. Em told me about the two of them, as I suspected. Rod leans against the wall, silently looking put out. She told me she only waited to tell me because she was worried I would drive him away. Did you not do such things in the past? Rod sighs. So she did talk to you. Rod runs a hand through his hair and grumbles. I can't help but being protective of Am. She's got a good heart, and I don't want anyone taking advantage of it, of her. Emmeline is lucky to have you as a brother. Even so, she is the younger brother, though. I'm even luckier to have her as a sister. Rod looks at me. Yeah, but you are also brother and sister. I don't know how to feel about this talk. I imagine you played some role in convincing Em to tell me. Thank you. I'm glad she confided in you. And I'm glad you did not respond melodramatically. Me? Melodramatic? You must be thinking of Prince Claude. Ross shakes his head. Besides, I spent a year with Prince Lance. I know he's a good man. I trust expect him to treat Anne the way she deserves to be treated. It must be good if he has the seal of approval. Rod coughs, cheeks flushes. Anyway, about the ball. Rod extends a hand to me. It's starting soon, and I would be humbled to leave you there. I grasp Rod's hand, marveling at the solid warmth of it. All I want is to spend every day hand in hand with him, doing things together, bantering together. And I feel, somehow, that this ball will bring us one step closer. You don't even know how. You can't even imagine, you just feel it. Even though that I don't like it, I would not have it any other way. Rod kisses my hand one last time, then tucks it in the crook of his arm as we make our way to the throne room. All eyes immediately fall on us when we are announced upon our entrance. There is a pause, followed by appraising murmurs. I glance at Rod out of the corner of my eye, and I notice how stiff he is. I can sympathize. I lean in toward him and whisper, "Are you alright?" You know me, I'll never like at crowds. I smile. And yet, you're a dancer who performs in front of them all the time. Maybe, but whoopsie. Maybe, but I'm not here as a dancer. I'm here as your lover. He looks so embarrassed when he says the word, but it is an embarrassment that stems from his feelings of unworthiness. Place my hand over his arm and smile gently. I, for one, cannot be happier everyone is seeing us together tonight. I want every day to be like this, me and you, together. Rod flushes. Viviana and I. If it isn't the most majestic ice princess. I recognize the voice immediately. Sure enough, when I look up, Claude is striding toward us with a bright grin on his face. It's been too long, Viviana. It has, hasn't it? Hello, Claude. I'm sad you haven't come to visit us yet. You know I cannot. Not with the Tenebrarum here. As a Tenebrarum bearer, I must stay close to the crystal. Perhaps someday in the future, I can master my control over it enough to leave. But for now, I must remain. Such responsibilities are a heavy burden. All you ever do is shrug off your responsibilities. Rod, I'm insulted. You're always hiding in the garden or wandering around town, doing very important things. Do you know how many people we entertain in that garden? Its upkeep is vital. And the town visits are my way of getting to know my future subjects. Whatever you say, I cough strategically to break apart our conversation. Are the Brigantia king and queen here tonight? No, unfortunately. They were too busy with the foreign dignitaries to attend. Llama and I are here on their behalf. Llama? I'd appreciate it if you called me by my name, Claude. A man silently stands behind Claude. The similarities between he and Claude are striking. I could never forget his face. Hello, Prince Lance. It's a pleasure to see you again. I forgot that he has the shiny thing on him. Why? The pleasure is all mine, Princess Diviana. Turns to Rod. And it's great to see you in such wonderful company. Hello again, Rod. I had no idea you were courting the princess. What a pleasant surprise this is. Cloud smirks. I'm glad to know there's a reason for the trail of broken hearts you left behind in Brigantia. Rod suddenly looks extremely uncomfortable. It's okay, I already know about that. Wait, you do? Sabi told us. Rod groans. And this is why I can't bring him anywhere. Cloud grins. Rod was very popular. I heard musicians singing songs about him when last I was in town. Rod looks horrified. What? Cloud nudges his brother. Enough of your tall tales, Llama. Not a tall tale. You're just disappointed they're no longer singing that Chameleon Prince song. Nonsense! They glare at each other. I clear my throat. Thank you both for taking care of Rod while he was in Brigantia. The brothers pause to smile at me. I can clearly see they are brothers. Of course, it was our pleasure. I echo the sentiment. Why are they all kira kira shiny shiny? I echo the sentiment. I do what I can to assist with matters of my heart. So now we go here, we save. Yes. And last time we put you are right, so I'm the lucky one. Rod taught me that what goodness was in a way no one else ever could. He helped me break my curse. He went to the Brigantia for me. What size? And here I thought he went because he thought my invitation was enticing. Lance size. I'd caution anyone against accepting one of your invitations ever. We were having such a pleasant conversation before you showed up, Llama. And I was having such a pleasant time before I overheard you throwing that nickname around. Rod leans closer to whisper in my ear, as the brother speaker. Everything you said. You know I feel the same way, right? Without you, I would never have broken my curse. Without you, I might have died. Yeah. We don't got traumatized or anything with all the bad endings on the last one, on the previous game. No, we totally didn't cry over boys dying. No, totally not me, never. Then we saved each other. I can feel Rod smile against my ear. It sounds like we were meant to be together. Rod plants a soft kiss on my temple. When he pulls away, I notice Cloud smiling at us. How delightful it is to watch two people in love fawning over each other. Especially when those people are good people. Oh, thank you, Llama. You too. Diviana! I turn to Cymbeline walking straight toward us. I've been looking all over for you. She freezes when she sees the brothers. She immediately curses. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were here in the middle of a conversation. No apologize necessary, Princess Emmeline. It's a pleasure to see you again. He glances at Lance, who is beaming unabashedly at Emmeline. He went all, yeah. I will just make myself scarce. He gestures into the crowds. I could have sworn I passed by Lady Parfait and Lady Laura. I ought to go catch up. Oh, he's such a nice brother. Cloud excuses himself with a bow and a wink. Lance laughs awkwardly. Typical karma. The smile returns when he turns to Emmeline. Good evening, Princess Emmeline. It's so good to see you in person after all this time. You look beautiful tonight. Emmeline flushes as she smiles back. Thank you. You look very handsome yourself. Lance, can we speak in private? Rod glances around the crowded ballroom. Or more privately, at least? Lance looks unfazed. Of course. Princess Emily, Princess Viviana, I'll catch up with you later. With a bow, Lance excuses himself, and he and Rod walk off together. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't have told Rod after all. I shake my head. Rod already told me trust Prince Lance. I would not worry. Oh, mentioned this to you? Briefly. Rod is glad you told him, Emmeline. Emmeline sighs. I could never hide anything from Rod for long. He eyes the man as they disappear into the crowds. I really hope he doesn't do anything to scare Lance off. While we talk, something suddenly occurs to me. Did you come all this way looking for Lance? Oh, no. I came to tell you I'd seen Lady Parfait and the rest of the mushroom goers. Claude mentioned seeing them in passing too. They must be somewhere nearby. Thank you for letting me know. Of course I will. Be with Viorican this month. Try not to worry about Prince Lance. Everything will be fine. I hope so. Thank you, Diviana. We part ways. I head in the direction Claude was moving earlier, and sure enough, see familiar faces from the Martian. Claude stands among them. I smile as I approach. I'm glad to see you all could make it. Diviana, how lovely to see you. We could never miss a celebration like this, especially when the Grump invited us himself. Grump? She must be talking about Rod. I wasn't aware he sent these invitations himself. Chevalier steps forward, sweeping into an overdramatic bow. He looks stunning in that dress, Diviana, like a queen. I'm a queen. Your flattery is, as always, overbearing. It's a simple compliment, Your Royal Highness. Claude and Chevalier are smiling at each other, but there is a palpable tension in the air. It's good to know some things never change. A soft laugh cuts through the banter, and he steps out and courses. Thank you so much for the invite, Princess Diviana. She looks wonderstruck, her eyes gleaming in a way I've never seen before. It occurs to me that this is the first time she's probably been back at the palace since I rudely fired her. She spins around, a bright smile on her face. This is also very much like a dream. It is good to see her so happy. It is good to see everyone so happy. The only people who are missing from the usual crowd are Lady Parfait. As if I have summoned the nights by thought alone, Drury and Garland approach with bright smiles. Drury and Garland, it's been too long. About that, I'm sorry you haven't been by. We've had many new recruits and many more training sections, I'm sure. We've heard all about it. Garland smiles. It's been very busy around here, even more so with the ball preparations. Someday soon, when things have calmed down, we'll visit again. Shurian always talks about how much he misses your casserole, Anis. Hi Dart, how are you? Thank you for the stretch. It's okay, thank you for the work alone. It's not just a casserole, it's all of the food. Your cooking is exquisite, Anis. You have no idea how much that compliment means to me, Lady Jorian. Oh, I'm so much Lady Jorian. Oh. While the night's reminiscence over the meals we shared together, Laura turns to me, eyebrows raised. I can't believe we're talking about the good old days without the grump. What's he up to now? He's discussing something personal with Prince Lance. Pod snorts. Personal? I hope Rod makes Llama squirm. Llama? Llama? Lance. Thankfully, the topic of our conversation shifts after that was the beginning discussion currently happenings. The witches talk about the youth they have been training, and it mentions she has begun working out on Chevalier's clinic, and Claude talks at length about Burgundian politics no one cares about. An hour passes and, eventually, I excuse myself to go look for Rod. What in the world is taking Rod so long? I'm making my way through the crowd when two noble women call out to me. Good evening, Your Highness. They courtesy. We came to thank you for your invitation. This gathering has been lovely. I'm glad to hear it. There is a brief silence as the two ladies glance at each other, and then, forgive our curiosity, but maybe we inquire about your bull. One can't help but be curious. I hear he was a commoner who built a reputation for himself from the ground up. How admirable. Princess Viviana, do you mind if I ask you a question? Yes? Poor Sir Rod, no one else caught your fancy eyes, yes? So, it goes without saying that there is something special about Sir Rod. What is it that attracts you to him? Their curiosity seems harmless enough, but I am not the last was caught off guard by the question. Save. So we check it and he's hard working. I've never met someone who works as hard as him. He works tirelessly for those he loves. Rod lets nothing stand in his way. He's stubborn, true, but his dedication is admirable. He inspires me, every moment of every day. The First Lady sighs, almost tremblingly. Yours sounds like a match made in heaven. Truly, I am a little envious. I am very envious. My heart swells with pride. It is good to hear they say those words. This proof that others really do see Rod as a competent, and, as he would put it, worthy. I am very lucky to have him in my life. I part ways with a woman. In my search for Rod, I drew closer to the throne, where Father sits. Some emotion I do not understand flickers across his face as he beckons me forward. Ophelia sits beside Father, a soft smile on her face. You wanted to see me? Indeed, I believe a speech is in order. My heart itches. Father, I'd rather not. It's a speech you'll want to hear, Diviana. Father holds up a hand, a signal that causes the musicians to stop playing. The quiet settles quickly. My father clears his throat. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here tonight. We have had much to celebrate during these peaceful years, but tonight we are here to celebrate someone who is very special to me. Tonight we are here to celebrate my daughter. I fight the urge to duck behind the throne as father gestures me forward. I take a deep breath as I move to stand beside him. It has been 2 years since my daughter Diviana Riela Brighton became the Tenebrarum bearer. She has already accomplished much in these 2 years. It is because of her we know this current peace. Tonight, we celebrate her artwork. There is more applause. I fight to keep my expression calm as my heart flutters. But it is not just nerves sitting in the pit of my stomach. There is also warm pride. Father holds up a hand, quieting the chamber. But that is not the only reason we celebrate tonight. My father only offers a soft, knowing smile before gesturing into the crowd. As if some silent cue, the crowds part, revealing Rod. Reproaches the throne quietly. Rod? His name is a whisper on my lips. The room is so silent, I can hear Rod take a deep breath. Princess Diviana. Despite the calmness of his expression, his voice is shaky. I love you with all my heart, Diviana. The words proclaimed so confidently, in front of so many people, caused tears to form in my eyes. My biggest wish is to spend the rest of my days with you, to give you everything you could ever want. And I hope, with all my heart, that you will give me that honor. Rod pulls a small box out of his pocket, and my heart skips a bit when he kneels in front of me. Vaguely, I am aware of gasps and whispers from the crowd, but the sound of my own nervous heartbeat is loudest. Rod opens the box, revealing a ring with a beautiful golden stone in the center. This is Princess Diviana Riela Brighton, daughter of King Gennaro III. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Despite my best efforts, tears slide down my cheeks as I smile. It would be my honor. As Rod stands to slide the ring onto my finger, I am so filled with joy I feel buoyant. I throw my arms around him and bury my face into the crook of his neck as the audience cheers. I barely hear the sounds. My focus is on Rod's hands resting on the small of my back. I love you, Rod. I love you too, Diviana. A toast for my daughter and her fiancé. The music starts again, the triumphant notes filling the ballroom. I am relieved when, slowly but surely, the crowd's eyes fall away from us. I pull away from Rod and, as my father steps forward, where I can react, pulls me into the tight embrace. Congratulations, Diviana. I am shocked to see tears shimmering in his eyes. My father chuckles softly at my expression of wonder. Even us hardened old men can be sentimental. Well, as you know, he's been teary-eyed for days. My father gives Ophelia a look and she smiles back, her own eyes glossy with tears. The sight makes my heart full. How long have you both known about this? For a while. Rod had to ask me for permission for your hand, after all. There was much pondering over when to make the official announcement. I thought the ball might be a good opportunity. Who is ever the thoughtful planner? It was a good idea, I admit, even if doing that in front of all those people was terrifying. Rod rubs the back of his neck, cheeks flushed. Thank God I don't have to do something like that again. Oh, rolling requires addressing crowds quite often. Rod crowns. I prefer to take this open step at a time, very, very slowly. Well then, it is a good thing we are both very patient. Rod beams at me. He points over my shoulder. I do not realize why until someone grabs me from behind and pulls me into a tight hug. Congratulations, Ivana. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I can. Why did I do that voice to Sebby? Now I always do it. I pull away with a laugh. Emmeline is practically bouncing on her heels, with Sebby perched on her shoulder. Thank you, Emmeline. Sebby. Hill, glad I made it in time to see that proposal. I told you I'd come back for you, Sebby. So that surprise you both mentioned it. Emmeline laughs. It was so hard to keep this a secret. The day Rod showed me the ring in the throne room and you came in? She shakes her head. I was so nervous. I was going to give it away. So that thing you were hiding behind your back was a ring? Rod smiles. Emmeline was so nervous she took it out of the room without her. She almost ruined the surprise. But I didn't. Sebby coughs. So, now that the secret's out of the bag, are you going to start taking me places again, Rod? Maybe. Maybe? I'm the one who fixed things between you two, you know? Don't worry, Sebby. You can come spend the days with me if you like. Sebby sighs. You're not going back to Viorica's any soon, are you? Because my cheeks still hurt. The music in the ballroom changes, going from a soft melody to a lively waltz. I recognize it immediately. Rod's eyes light up. I know this song. It's for a Burgundy waltz. His eyes are glimmering when he turns to me. May I have this dance, Vivian? He looks so hopeful, so excited. It has been a long time since he looked so carefree. I grasp his hand with a grin. Of course. Rod pulls me gently toward the ballroom floor, and the two of us effortlessly fall into the dance routine he taught me. Okay, what do I have here? Okay. Oh, much better. Good. For a time, the two of us are lost in each other's movements. I let Rod lead me through twirls after twirl, and match each of his movements perfectly. Rod grins. You've really improved. If you were to challenge me right now, I would win. Oh? His fingers settle on my hips. I stumble at the abrupt movement, nearly falling into his chest as he laughs. I'll challenge you right now, but I wouldn't want to embarrass you in front of everyone. I stamp my foot close to his instep. Rod steps away with a smirk. Next time we're in here alone, I'll challenge you, and I will win. Rod laughs. That's it. That's the spirit I fell in love with. Rod pulls me into another underarm twirl. I glance around during the turn and notice Prince Lance and Emmeline dancing not too far from us. Rod sees me looking and raises an eyebrow. Never did tell me how your talk with Prince Lance went. Rod shrugs. It was fine. That is all you have to say? Well, I only really wanted to make sure he wasn't serious about courting my sister. And? He said he was, I suspected. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't need to ask anything else. I know Prince Lance, and I trust him to treat Emmeline courteously. The music picks up in tempo, and our conversation dwindles as we again focus on our dancing. Later, Rod and I make our rounds around the throne room, getting congratulations from everyone. The last people we see that night are the tavern goers, who offered us the most heartfelt well wishes. Time passes stiffly, and before we know it, the clock strikes midnight. Later, the group of us stand by the palace gates, for the final goodbye of the night. Well, it's been fun, but we ought to get back. We have lessons tomorrow. Close yawns. I'm sure the students are going to be more energetic than both of us combined tomorrow. Which is why we should be getting back. We're in charge of setting a good example. Laura faces Alice with a smile. But the sleepiness will be worth it. I can't believe you proposed it in front of all those people. Laura, stop teasing. Parfait beamed at us. We really are so happy for you both. Thank you. Rod looks away, embarrassed. Laura slides closer to me. She leans close enough to whisper. I still remember the bossy princess turned maid. I accompanied around the palace. We've grown so much since then. I'm proud of you, Deviana. Even teasing as they are, I can tell the words are sincere. Thank you for everything, Laura. We watched everyone walk back into the darkened town until we can see them no more. Then it was nice to catch up with everyone, but is there a reason that Grumpy Kid wasn't here? I know he meant immediately. Sina, the heir to the Lucys? Rod shrugs. Received an invitation, same as everyone else. I shake my head with a sigh. He's very temperamental. I think I'm going to need to befriend him before he decides to grace us with his presence. Temperamental? Sounds like a certain princess I know. Rod scowls. Says the most temperamental romantic prince in this world. I'm terrible offended. I cross my arms. Never mind, Sina. You and Lance will be staying with us for the next 2 days, right? Correct? Claude nods. I figure I may as well take a break from my duties while I can. You mean the duties you always run from? Must you insist on being so rude? I laugh. Regardless of why you're here, this will be nice for Emmeline too. She and Prince Lance can spend some time together. And what of me? Has no one missed my company? Before Rod can say anything snarky, I nudge him and speak for myself. No, it is good to have you here, Claude. Just don't expect us to spend that much time with you. I know. I suppose I'd just be unwanted company now that you two are engaged. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Claude tips his head. Tonight was fun, but it's getting late, so I shall excuse myself. Good night, darlings. Claude excused himself with a little bow, and Rod and I returned to the palace shortly after. Belle and I walked through the hallways hand in hand. Everything is quiet until Rod mumbles something beneath his breath. I look at him curious. What was that? Just remember something I was going to bring up earlier. Oh? I happened to overhear a conversation you were having with some noble women earlier. You were eavesdropping? You were talking about me. I was really happy to hear you thought I was hardworking. That goes without saying. Still, it means a lot to hear you say it, because everything I do, you do for me. Yes, I know. And I will always be grateful. There's no need for that. I do it because I want to. He leans forward to kiss my lips, but thank you, Vivian. We both pause as we come to the bedroom door. Normally, this is when we part ways now that neither of us moves. I know it's late, but I like to spend some more time with you. Still looks embarrassed or nervous. Me too. Perhaps we can take a stroll through the garden or. So this was the wrong one. What do you want to do? But I asked what you wanted to do. And now I'm asking you. Relationships are give and take after all. I don't care what we do. I just want to spend more time with you. I want to catch up for all the lost time. Then come spend some time with me in my room. Are you sure? I look at him quizzically. Yes, it's just my room, not some hidden secret chamber. I nudge him playfully as I open the door. I call on servants to make us some warm tea for us, and sit down on the table when it arrives. Rod looks uncharacteristically nervous. I notice he glances everywhere but at my bed. This should not be so awkward. We are so oblivious, oh my god. I decide to break the silence. So, how are your sports practicing going? I shake my head when Rod startles. I didn't think I'd forgot. Did you? Do you? No, there's been so much of my mind I forgot. He picks up his teacup and gingerly sips at the steaming liquid inside. They're going well. Not so well I would want to challenge anyone to a sword fight, but I'm getting better at least. He looks at me seriously. Someday I'll be able to protect you. But I have magic. I can protect myself. I know, but I don't. And I want us to be able to protect each other. Exhale softly. I'm sorry for keeping those practices a secret. Just wanted to surprise you. How am I meant to celebrate your success if you do not know what you have been doing? Or not? That's a fair point, but I told you I wasn't going to keep any more secrets, and I mean it. I'll hold you onto it. Maybe I will even come watch your practice. But flashes. I wouldn't recommend that. The two of us continue to talk until our tea is depleted. By that time, my body is heavy with exhaustion, and all I want to do is to sleep. He's late. I should go now. The moment Rod stands, I take his hand. Viviana, I would like for you to stay with me tonight. He stares at me. I'd like to hold you tonight. The words make heat pull in the core of my stomach, but I continue speaking. I would just like to sleep next to you. It has been so long since I've seen you. I'm here to stay now. I know, but... Rod squeezes my hand with a gentle smile. I want to stay with you tonight, and whenever you will have me. And I will do whatever you're comfortable with. Whatever I'm comfortable with? I stand, and before he can react, pull him through the bed. Vivian, I fell backwards. Rod topples over me. For a few moments, the two of us lay there, staring at each other, feeling each other's rapid heartbeats through our palms. Then I kiss him. A soft kiss at first, but then a deeper one. An intoxicating heat floats my body, and I let the feeling carry me away as Rod leans into me, trailing kisses down my lips to my collarbone. He pauses, breathless. Is it safe to continue? Is it safe to continue? I love you, Diviana, with all my heart. I love you too, Rod. After a time, all the kisses blur together. The last thing I am aware of as I fall asleep is Rod's body curled around mine. The news of our engagement spreads quickly. Now that we all know Rod and I will be married in the future, these lessons with the king and the knight resume again in earnest. The two of us still have a long way to go before we are ready for marriage, but now, finally the path is clear, and I plan to enjoy every moment walking with Rod. We have a bright future ahead of us, for Rod and I, but also for our kingdom. The vow. Wait, is this a marriage? Are we getting cake? 4 months have passed since Rod proposed to me. Since then, the two of us have been working tirelessly to prepare ourselves for the future. Also, let me see. Father does not plan on stepping down immediately after we marry. But I know the day is fast approaching, and I do not want to make Father wait. Today, Father and I are discussing scenarios and I will have to face as a ruler. This specific situation is a dispute between two parties. This sort of thing happens frequently, most often between businessmen. Most will request an audience and ask for advice. It titled his head. Tell me, as a just and unbiased ruler, what would the primary tactic be? First, I would allow both parties to argue their side. If it is obvious which was the offending party, I will offer a solution based on the laws which they would already know. And if it wasn't obvious, then I would seek the opinion of the council and call on witnesses to testify. Father looks at me for a long moment, his expression unreadable. I force myself not to waver as I stare back at him. And then he smiles, and I feel myself caving with relief. An excellent answer. I release a sigh, and I did not realize I was holding. I must sound exasperated because Father laughs. You always have such a serious look on your face. Speak for yourself. I feel like I'm trying to prove myself in a courtroom during these lessons. Excellent. That is exactly the atmosphere I want these lessons to have. He leans forward. It is essential to master natural expression and to keep your emotions hidden from others. It is difficult to appear unbased if one openly wears their emotions. He shakes his head. Truthfully, I think you already have that part down. Rod, on the other hand, he needs to learn to stop scolding. Rod is good at keeping secrets, but his call can be intimidating. You both have your strengths. I have a crown, and his head is on his head inside. As of right now, I cannot imagine bearing its weight. But I still have much to learn. So do we all. Learning is an endeavor that never ends. Rod would scream if he heard you say that, despite all the lessons. They are, indeed, one of the most frustrating parts of court life. Every time I become frustrated with my lessons, I think of the ones Ophelia and Emmeline were forced to take when they first came in here. Remember the lessons I helped Emmeline with? I remember her perseverance. And after that, I am motivated again. It helps to know we are all suffering together. Oh my god. Misery loves company, as they say. Not coping at all, huh? No, not at all. The king stands, stretching his arms out before him. But it is also important to take a reprieve from that misery, so that we may face the next day with renewed motivation. You ought to go and rest now, Vivian. You have earned a break. Thank you, Father. I thought out of my share. Thank you for think of his trust in me, of his acceptance and happiness, of my relationship with Rod. Thank you for everything. My father shakes his head. You owe me no gratitude, but I do owe you my thanks. I'm flabbergasted when he bows before me. What? You too trusted me with your secret, even when I did not deserve to be trusted, Father. No, man. I am speaking the truth, nothing more. You could have turned away from me, Diviana. You had every right to give up on me as your father. But you decided to give me a chance to rectify things, and for that, I will always be grateful. He leans over to kiss my forehead. Good night, Diviana. I return his warm smile with one of my own. Good night, Father. I reach out to give him the briefest hugs before courting and walking from the room. Rod is waiting for me at the outside. The moment I exit, he falls into stride beside me. How did your lesson go? It went well. I apologize for making you wait so long. You wait for me after our endlessly long lessons, and I wait for you after our endless long lessons. It seems only fair. Besides, I just got back from Yum's room. And how did she like your gift? Well, a week ago, Emily had announced that she was going to visit Burgundy for the first time. After officially receiving permission for the king to court Emmeline, Lance had started visiting monthly. He has come and gone 4 times already, and his most recent visit he asked Emmeline to accompany him for a month-long visit to Burgundy. The moment Rod found out, he insisted to make her something that she could take with her, to make her feel more at home. Knowing how fond she was of Tabby, he came to me and asked if I could help him make a small plush toy for her. Rod is extremely earnest and does his best at everything but and you stitch the ears like this. Rod looks at me aghast. I don't understand. Don't want to understand. What don't you understand? Any of it. I can't even see the shape of the ears. Am I even doing this right? You are doing fine. You just need to tighten the stitches so the ears do not come off. But where even are the ears? We have been working on this entire time. He really is helpless at it. When Rod continues to have difficulties pulling the thread through it, gently take the plush from him. Watch and learn. He flushes as I lean over his shoulder to work, carefully looping the thread a couple more times before I tie the knot. I continue working with him for the next 10 minutes, carefully guiding his hands through the stitches. There, all done. The appointment is evident on his face when he holds up the plush. It's terrible. It's nowhere near as cute as the plush you made me. To be fair, I have a lot more practice, I have a lot more experience, but this was such a simple design. Outside, it really is terrible. It is not. Also, we are talking about Emily. She could not possibly dislike anything you gave her. I think it's very cute. If you say so. He sets the plush down on the table with a sigh. I stretch. That's how I began with. That's how it began with me too. You remember? I didn't think I'd be gone that long, but then months passed and his eyes flew to mine. I made you wait for so long. That's all in the past. You are here now. That is what matters. I leaned down to plant a kiss on his head. Besides, even if Emmeline does end up staying longer, I know she would not fail to write letters letting us know when she would be back. I said I was sorry about it. I know, I just like to see you blush. You are the worst. Turns his gaze to the plush toy. I just want him to have this piece of home, no matter how long she's gone. I pat the little plush on the head. She's going to love it. I flashed Rod a teasing smile. Will you make me a plush toy when we get married? Rod scowls. You deserve something much nicer than whatever this is. I pick up the small plush. I thought you like challenges. Are you still afraid you'll never be as good as me? Rod narrows his eyes. Fine, and I'll make something for you. I could never say no to one of your requests. What he means is that he will never back away from a challenge. Will never not find his determination inspiring. I lean over his shoulder and plant a kiss on his cheek. I look forward to it. Em had tears in her eyes when I gave it to her. At first, I thought it was because the plush was so ugly it made her cry. Cannot help my laughter. And that wasn't the case, was it? No, she kept telling me how much she adored it. I told you she would love it. I open the door to my bedroom when we arrive. The expression crumples as we enter. It feels like so much is happening all at once. With Emmeline, things are moving so slowly on my ends. With us. He looks crestfallen as he slides into my desk chair. I'm sorry we have to wait so long for our wedding. Where is this coming from? Emmeline is not getting married? No, but the two of them still feel like they're taking more active steps toward the future than I am. Rod, you know I'm not in a hurry. In fact, I'm glad we get to walk this path together, without rushing. We're not lacking for time, and I want to enjoy the here and now. Rod shakes his head. I'm so accustomed to worrying about the future. It's strange to just focus on the present. But it is not enjoyable. I would hope not. I like to think I can make the present very enjoyable. Every moment I spend with you is enjoyable. He pauses, suddenly looking thoughtful. After a few moments, he stands, expression suddenly somber. Actually, I've been thinking if all we can ever control is the present, then... I'm sitting on my bed when Rod walks across the room to take my hand. Rod? I want to make my vow to you, here and now. Huh? This is a little unusual. Our whole love story has been a little unusual, don't you think? He holds out a hand. Can I have your ring? Our fingers approach as I hand him the ring, and I flush as he kneels down before me. Promise to make it better for our wedding, but I like to make a vow to you tonight as well. You're not allowed to tease me for this, okay? I nod, smiling. Rod gently takes my hand, feels a ring on his hand there. Wait, I never heard this one. Music. Oh, so calm, so low. Even though I know this is not a real thing, not even a rehearsal, my heart trembles with anticipation. Viviana, I did not know the meaning of true love until I met you. I'd never known what it meant to give someone my heart until we met. But now, you have it. You have me in all of my entirety. I want to stay by your side the rest of our lives. Thought our paths diverged in the past. I'll make sure they remain intertwined in the future. I never want to leave you alone. Not again. He takes a deep breath as he slides the ring onto my finger. My eyes are glistening with tears when he brings my hand to his lips, kisses my knuckles. I will love you forever and always, Viviana. I grip his hand tightly, pulling him toward me. I love you too, Rod, and I will proudly proclaim it for the rest of the world to hear. Rod smiles. It's such a gentle, beautiful smile. No more secrets, never again. Rod cups my cheek, brushing a stray tear from my eye as he presses his lips to mine, sealed to our promise. I pull Rod closer, until we are lying together on the bed, our limbs entangled, my face pressed onto his chest. I will always love you, Rod, forever and always. I wake up to bright morning sunlight seeping into my room. Wait, when did I fall asleep? I blink dazedly and try to turn. Then I feel arms around my waist and gasp, "Good morning."
What happened? Okay, Rod's voice is a sleepy mumble as it pulls me closer. I can feel his bare chest, all the thin fabric of my nightgown. My stomach is suddenly filled with butterflies. Right, last night. Oh, they just okay. Last night, Rod made his vow, and then we. Well, it somehow turned into this. Yeah, I can see it somehow turned into that. Okay. Viviana? What? What is this to be the best? Why? Why? The best end is basically we getting this first what happened before. What? I can feel it smirking at my skin. Are you embarrassed? I'm not. Red laughs against my skin. He presses a soft kiss to the nape of my neck. I should sleep shirtless more often. It's nice to see you so flustered for a change. I don't think it's that. What? No compliment? No complaints? Must I kiss you to get you to stop talking? Maybe that was my goal all along. Turn to face him and, as promised, press a kiss to his lips. Rod's returning kiss is sleepy, warm. He touches his forehead to mine and whispers softly, "I love you, Viviana. Love you too." Rod nuzzles his face into my neck. I run my hand through his hair. I marvel not for the first time that we are finally here,
together. Just for a little longer. Let's stay like this. I nod as I press my lips to his forehead. We have all the time in the world, Rod. Once I wish that I could live my life openly loving Rod. Turns out, with perseverance and hard work, that dream was more than possible. And their love lasted forevermore. Um, so, I think I know what we should expect for the best ends now. I'm not gonna lie, I was kinda getting sleepy. And as soon as I start feeling that, I'm just like, huh? I don't remember they showing this when we did the good ending though. Now, we got the brother out of the way. Finally! Oh, the glass slipper! I miss this glass slipper. So, we still have 1 hour. I don't know if I should read or if I don't know if I can. If I want to read or if I want to start the next route. That is Rumpel, aka Chevalier. Oh! This is Rod! That must be Rod. Like, my mind just went for Rod. So yeah, I was right. She is just... When we finish all the endings of a character, the good and the best, and the things appear just like before. This time letters, like I thought. And I know that this is Rod because first it's the one I mean. Second, because of the seashell, and Rod had the Little Mermaid curse, so seeing a seashell makes a lot of sense. So let me just go to settings and enable these because I just wanted to. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's probably my name, right? Oh no, okay. Will I just go again? I just don't know if they are going to. I don't know if they are going to change the color like they did before or not. So I wanted to also know that. I like how they keep it the midnight theme. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. Thank you for hydration. And a bottle check. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a princess. She was known as the Ice Princess, named for her frigid heart and an unwilling, wildling coldness towards others. The princess shunned all those who sought to help her. She was scared to go out into the world, so she locked herself up in her palace. Then, one day, the Ice Princess became the victim of the infamous fairy tale curse and was forced to go from riches to rags. As the princess struggled to come to terms with her new life, she met a very special man. The two endured much strife, helping each other overcome various ordeals. In the end, they emerged victorious. The special man towed the prince's ice-cold heart and dried her dampened spirits. The two vowed to love each other for the rest of time. They lived happily ever after. But what happens after happily ever after? Oh, I thought the road would appear different after we have done it here, but then I remember they don't change it here. So this is Travelier, right? Yeah. This is Fritz. This is Walt, this is Camille. The Lucy's bearer. Oh, so we are meeting Sina this time. Okay. Let me save. Diviana. A voice reaches out to me from the depths of my mind. Soft and gentle. But I have not heard it in years. I recognize it immediately. Mother? Huh. My dearest heart. Mother? I rush towards her, but Mother steps away from me before I can touch her. Oh yeah, we don't know that she's still on the crystal, do we? Here. Well, Solid, if you are here, your favorite character that just appeared. I came to see how the traitor was doing, but it seems you are still just as incompetent as when I left you. Mother, I think her design is the only one that didn't change. Maybe because she doesn't have that big an appearance. Because she was kind of... A strand of electricity snaps off my arm, breaking apart the rest of my words. I collapse to knees with a cry of pain. What a disappointment you are, Diviana. Had you revived me? Had you revived me? You would not be so weak. Angel would not be so weak. You are a pathetic ruler, daughter, mother. And you are a filler as a witch. The sparks return the moment the words leave her mouth. Wait, so these are these the nightmares we were having that Rod mentioned? Because if these are the nightmares that Rod mentioned, then it means that these nightmares only happen on Rod's, Karma's, and Karma's aka Cloud, and Rumpel aka Chevalier routes, because that is the only time we don't face our mother. Because on Fritz and Wolf's routes, we face our mother and she kinda dies. We kind of are forced to kill her. So, probably on their routes, she doesn't appear. Also, this music is creepy as heck. They made the great work on this. This time, the electricity envelops my whole body, making the world shimmer dangerously. Tears gather in my eyes. Also, after this nightmare ends, I'm going to raid someone. Hi, Kobe, how are you? Mother, please, I'm trying my best. You will fail, dearest heart, because you do not know what it means to be a witch. We feed off negativity and chaos. Love serves no power. You will see that in time. And when that happens, my love, a sardonic smile touches her lips as she fades away. Remember that I will not be there for you. I'm okay too. I'm just going to read because I just feel maybe I just should rest. So yeah. But hey, Kobe, we got the best end with Rod. Now we got all the endings with Rod. So now this little letter appeared, and we got all the image with Rod. We don't talk about the last one though. But we got all the image with Rod. And we discover what happens on the best end. Let me just do this because I know every time I close a game, it just shares my Steam. So, hello. Let's see to raid. Oh. Okay. No, I'm not sharing my Steam with the people. Might be the first time though, when there's the last, but no. Okay. Maybe I should rate Cell? I don't know. I don't remember when was the last time I rated Cell. Oh, did she end? Did she just end? Oh, is my stream bug? Huh? Hello? Oh no, she's just busy. Should we go to Cell? She's going for 2 hours, so she's probably going for longer. Let's just go to Cell then. Thank you for the ad pets. Air raid. So here's the raid message for Visa. and here is the read message for who isn't sub, and I'm copying my own read message. And you are reading so yeah. Thank you so much to everyone who joined me today. I really appreciate it. We were able to finish Rod's route. We finished it all, we got the best ending, and we start Rumple's aka Chevalier's route now. So, next Cinderella of normal streams, I'll be doing Rumple's route. So, and we are going to try the good ending. So yeah, that's it, and I'll be back on Sunday with more productive stream where I'll be doing more bullet journal. Okay, so yeah. See you all on Sunday. Bye bye.